if you give it up for the one and only CairoX. I added some applauses. This is new.
Awesome.
How are you doing, man?
Much appreciated. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah, as I said, this is the first episode of the Zaphcast that is recorded in English. So let's see how this goes. The first thing I have to ask, well, it's basically like a get to know CairoX. Like, where does this username come from?
So the username came from obviously the capital of Egypt, Cairo, and I think I made it in like seventh grade. I had one of my teachers pronounce just the word Cairo really cool. I'm like, I want to use that for my online name.
Oh.
And then the X came after later.
Hmm. So,
Forget I forget when. But that was probably like 6 years ago. I added the X to it.
okay. So, you're from Egypt or no?
No, I'm from the U.S.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people seem to. I mean, it makes sense to think that, but no, I'm from the U.S.
Okay, okay. It's good to know. Um, let's talk about like the beginning in Geometry Dash. When you first played the game, what caught your attention? Was it the editor or just playing levels?
So I first started playing the game in around 1.4, and I was just playing. I didn't start creating until about late 1.9, early 2.0. And at the time, I didn't even have my own phone, so I was just playing on my friends' iPads and iPods and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I started like playing it. But I morely just played levels than
Okay.
created.
And what was the reason or inspiration you had to start creating levels?
I was just looking at like all the projects that were getting rated at the time. They looked really cool, and I wanted to try something. I think one of the biggest levels at the time was Nine Circles.
Mm-hmm.
That had the Nine Circles effect.
Yeah.
It's a four-channel color pulsing, and I wanted to see if I could use that in a different level, and I figured that out to
Mm-hmm.
where I made my own level, Disco Caverns, which is my first rated level, which is awesome.
That's cool. Um, and what was, or, well, do you remember your first level ever? Is it uploaded?
It got deleted because of RobTop.
Oh yeah, the cleaning you did. I think it was something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. But how was it?
the
Do you
first
remember?
level, the first level I ever made was entirely using those transparent invisible objects.
Hmm.
It was called Guardia, and I wish I could recreate that, but also every play is gone, so I don't remember exactly what it looked like.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame, man. I mean, that could have been incredible. So, moving on to the next topic. Um, well, everyone knows that recently Thinking Space 2 and Infinite Chaos got uploaded, and that you were involved in the creation of both levels. But it's now, like, I want you to talk about how was your experience being involved in the creation of Thinking Space 2.
So I wasn't the original host of it. That comes down to the Communist Cyclone team that's hosted by like Medius and all of them. They made the original gameplay, and then they gave it to Dr. Cuber to host the decoration. So I wasn't involved in the gameplay for it, but I did build apart the mirror portal wave that is my decoration.
Mm-hmm.
And then over time, people asked me like, "Hey, what's going on with the level?" So I asked Huber, like, "Oh, it's almost done. I just got to do a few more things." And I asked, "Hey, could I have it?" And he just gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's how I got to be the host of it. And then I got everything done.
That's
And that was for TS2.
yeah.
And then for Infinite, I started that like immediately after Lucid Chaos got rated.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started making the gameplay for that and getting everything in tune that I wanted for it.
Yeah. Something that I noticed is that in both TS2 and Infinite Chaos, there was like this time that the level like creations took place. It was like 3 years, if I'm not wrong. Uh,
It's roughly the same time.
yeah, but what happened in those 3 years for it to get like um at that extent? You know.
So I don't know all about TS2 because I got added in about a year into the creation of it.
Mm-hmm.
But for Infinite, it took a while because when you start a project, especially of that, how do I describe it? If you start a big project, you have to get creators, and to get them motivated, you have to get other parts done.
Yeah.
So some parts were done, but then it's like, okay, well, they other people that I was getting wanted more progress being done to make sure that they weren't building in a dead project. Which levels go through production hell all the time, where creators will join it, drop it, just an infinite cycle of that. And that's what happened. Like, I had Hell Pegasus, he took about a year to start building,
Oh.
but once he finished his part, it was well worth the wait.
Oh.
And
Okay.
then more progress. After that point, progress really started to come in.
That's cool.
And then also just not what like you deal with the level for so long, it's just mentally draining.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't play the game for like a month at a time,
Yeah. So
or at least I wouldn't focus on that. So I just take breaks, and then stuff wouldn't get done in that time.
yeah. So something that happens is that you get burnt out, right?
Yeah, you
Oh.
can get burnt out very quickly.
Yeah. And how was the verification process? Did professional players just reach out to you, or how was it?
So you have the original verifier of Infinite was Fusion 425, but then after a while, a player named Vic Turkey was just spamming me that he loved the level so much and wanted to verify it, so I gave it to him.
Hmm.
So I didn't have to contact people per se because I was friends with Fusion at the time, relatively talking with him,
Yeah.
and he understands like the situation. Like he doesn't hold it against me now.
Oh, okay.
But for Thinking Space 2, the original verifier was Hyperlith, and he was playing on a version that was way harder than the current rated, or not, it's not rated, but the current version on the servers.
Mm-hmm.
And progress just wasn't being made. So I talked with the other hosts of the level, the original Communist Cyclone team, to like, hey, let's find a new verifier. And we settled on, we had to agree on Zoink.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just, I put him in there, I suggested him.
Mm-hmm.
And that had to be pretty much approved by all of us.
Yeah.
So I did reach out in
Mhm.
that aspect. Plus, Zoink did leave a comment on the showcase saying he liked the level,
Yeah, I saw.
so there was a chance like
True.
he would have been the verifier anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that was a great idea you had. So verifying the level, I think it like helped the level increase its popularity and like get to where it is right now. Uh, Something else. How? Well, if I'm not wrong, right? Thinking Space 2 and Infinite Chaos were uploaded on the same day, right? With like hours of difference.
They weren't uploaded on the same day. So when TS2 got verified, that was on the Saturday, the same day that Amethyst got verified.
Yeah.
A day I uploaded TS2 like a few hours after because I was literally cooking the entire day. Like I didn't even realize the level had been verified.
Oh.
But I uploaded the level, and then a day later, Vic Turkey verified Infinite,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were waiting for a thumbnail. So on the Monday, on I think it's Memorial Day, I uploaded Infinite to the servers. So it's roughly 2 days apart. that they
Yeah.
were uploaded.
Yeah, and something that you mentioned right now is like um Big Turkey verifying Infinite Chaos, I'm sorry. Um I mean, how was it like I actually didn't follow through his verification process. I don't know if it was public or it was like a private verification. Was it public?
It was public. There just wasn't as much attention with it.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, I noticed like you just tweeted that Infinite Chaos was uploaded and it was like a surprise for me because I didn't know it was even getting verified. Another thing that you mentioned is that you were creating or cooking the entire day TS2 got verified. How was your reaction when you noticed that the level got actually verified?
I was eating dinner with my family. I had my phone. I checked it, and I see a DM from Zoink, and he said he verified it. I'm like, no fucking way, no way. I missed it. No.
This
Oh,
man. Yeah, but I mean, at
but
least
that was awesome. And
yeah,
then I saw Pop Off verify Amethyst half an hour later, and in my mind was just like, okay, this is crazy.
yeah, that was crazy.
But uh,
But I mean, at least it feels good, I guess, that it a level that you've been working on for so long finally gets verified and it gets the recognition it deserves.
oh
Um,
yeah, because it's sitting at over 100K downloads right now,
yeah,
which is more than a lot of my rated levels combined.
it's incredible, and it's still not rated, right?
No,
Oh,
it's
um,
been sent
yeah,
numerous times, so it'll get rated eventually.
yeah, we can only hope. But basically, another thing, that I want you to talk about is like how did it get the label of being the official sequel to the original Thinking Space? Was it something that was already planned or
Oh, so the original creator of Thinking Space, Hideki, had already endorsed the level before I had even gotten it.
yeah.
Like, that's how it was made official.
Hmm.
So it's just like the blessing of Hideki, like, yeah, this is the
Official sequel, yeah.
official thing. Mhm.
That's great. And about the process of being part of these levels, like both Infinite Chaos and TS2, how is it like since the very beginning, since the creators are gathered until the upload?
For Infinite, it was definitely a mental struggle, but it was really fun. I much more enjoyed that than TS2 because there was a lot of drama behind the scenes
Oh,
and chaos, ironically.
yeah.
But
So,
it's definitely like mental wise, it's probably the most strenuous thing I've dealt with for TS2. For Infinite, it definitely had its moments where it was difficult because there was a point there was like 6 parts weren't done, and I had no creators for it at all,
oh,
and I didn't have anyone to contact.
mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's yeah. It was I suppose it was mentally draining for you. Um,
Hosting can be stressful.
yeah.
It's very like you don't under a lot of people who just play the game don't understand how hard it is
Mm-hmm.
to host a level start to finish. Even and the finish is like it's rated by Rob,
Yeah.
like not just on the servers.
But what do you think is the hardest part? Like it getting rated by Rob or the creating process?
It's hard to say because the rating system can be very inconsistent, and other times you can just get a level rated within an hour,
Mm-hmm.
which didn't happen for this case. But
Yeah. But it
I'd
happened.
say the decoration, getting that done was definitely harder.
Yeah, something I remember that happened back in the pandemic was that this creator, I Samurai, I think was his name. I don't actually remember that well, but he made this level of coronavirus, and it got rated within an hour because Rob was in the stream. So this is when you think that if any level could actually get rated, if Rob just wants it to, because at the end he's the one who rates levels. And yeah, it's kind of tacky, I don't know, tricky, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I mean by inconsistent. He can join a stream and then rate a level immediately,
Yeah.
and then they don't have that creator doesn't have to go through the process of finding moderators because that can be even as challenging as
Mm-hmm.
building the level itself.
Mm-hmm.
But just because the level isn't rated now, I'd say the decoration was harder because I didn't have to contact any mods for it to get sent at all.
Yeah.
Like the second it was on the servers, it got like 5 cents.
Oh, that's cool. That's great. Another thing, changing a little bit the topic again. If I'm not wrong, Lucid Nightmares was the level you started to get recognition. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, you're right.
oh, okay.
That was the level that got me into G News, the
Mm-hmm.
C1997 series that unfortunately will never be a thing again.
Yeah.
But I got into it at the last moment, pretty much.
Oh. If
Because originally Sonics was going to verify that,
mm-hmm.
but then it ended up being to Wuxi, which Wuxi was the correct choice.
Mm-hmm.
He is insane at the game. But
Yeah, wishy. And how did you feel when you started increasing your popularity?
well, I had to take it at face value because there was a lot of good and a lot of bad. Because in the beginning there was a lot of bad, and over time it mellowed out, and now a lot of people are enjoying the level.
Mm-hmm.
But in the beginning, it definitely was challenging because I hadn't had anything like hit 100K at all
Yeah.
in terms of like views. Because Wushi's video hit 100K really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You see where that's actually at.
Yeah, Lucid Nightmares actually, it's a pretty great level. I mean, I beat it a while ago, and it's
Oh
not a
yeah,
bad level.
GG. I did see that.
Yeah, you saw that. That's great. Yeah, I did it, and it was a great experience. Actually, it's one of my best experiences. Um, and is there any story behind that level?
There's a little bit, but it's not too much. It's at the time there was a lot of mega collabs being out, and there wasn't many like two-person collabs at the
Mhm.
top of the list. So I asked Donut, "Hey, do you want to make something that's really fun and difficult?" And we did, and it turned out amazing. Like I still think the level has a certain like charm to it
Yeah.
because especially Donut's part, he really did a good job with it. It still holds up today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. I think that level, like Lucid Nightmares, is one of the most iconic levels ever in GD. Because I mean, it is harder than Bloodlust, but how I do not recall at which like placement did it get under them in this when it was first placed. Do you remember?
I'm trying to remember what was on the list. I think it got placed at number 4.
Mm-hmm. And
But again, Bloodlust was on the list at that point, so it would have been harder than that.
yeah.
And yeah, so that's even though Crimson Planet wasn't rated
Mm-hmm.
at the time, I still would have had a top 1, even if it was for a short time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And well, about your experience hosting and creating Extreme Demons, did did doing this, like creating these hard Extreme Demons, somehow impact your daily life?
Well, more just stress in general, but I haven't had any. I haven't had it really affect my like personal life.
Oh, that's great. And how do you think people react when they see your levels in general?
I think it's a positive now,
It has been.
but because TS2 might be a little bit of a scar,
Oh,
I don't know if that's gonna stay the same forever.
it's like, I don't know. So, moving on to the three questions. I have three questions. The first question I ask it to literally everyone who comes in this podcast. and it is that if you could talk to the you who started this, what advice would you give him? What would you tell him not to do?
Hmm. I say to handle criticism better because I took everything personally, especially when LN got really popular. I took all the negative stuff personally, so I tell myself, "Hey, just avoid that, and you'll be fine."
Mm-hmm. And where
Because
the
there are times like now,
mm-hmm.
sorry,
No,
there are times now where stuff can get to me, but then I'll redirect myself to like, okay, it's fine, we're good. It's a video game.
mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. And were there any feelings like good or bad when Amethyst got verified and started challenging the top one throne?
I didn't expect the level to be top one, let alone harder than Tidal Wave. So because I wanted it to be like top 10, 15, but then Zoink kept on buffing it.
Uh-huh.
So and I'm also glad Amethyst got verified as soon after, because now I can say, yeah, it's not top one anymore. Unless it actually is, and I'm just not good enough to know that information. But I personally think how it is right now, it's harder than Tidal Wave. Even though I'm not a top player, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So
I think
yeah,
yes, I think
there
Soink
was definitely relief. It was definitely relief after Popov verified Amethyst.
I think Soink thinks it's a top one. I mean TS2. I don't know. But yeah, also is there any level you would have loved to create or participate in that you didn't?
Fusion Z. Novelboy had a Fusion Z creator contest, and I was the last honorable mention
Oh,
before the winners.
that's and how did you feel?
I would have. Oh, I was devastated. I'm still kind of salty about that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, at the end.
There's another timeline where I did. So
So yeah. Um okay, now moving on to the next activity. I want you to give your opinion on these three things, I'm sorry. The first thing is, well, what do you think about the rating system? Is it fair? But let's go into a deep dive.
okay, I think it's fair, but there's a lot of people that take advantage of the situations.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think moderators should be able to send their own levels. I think they have to go through the system just as everyone else done to fully like understand what they're doing.
Mhm.
And I think a few elder mods or select people should be able to also rate levels. It shouldn't just be on a raw top when there's millions and millions of levels to
Mhm.
where most of his time is just rating things. Like if he had someone rating levels for him, on top of him, he could focus on getting more technical stuff in the game done and maybe even making, I don't know, explorers for God's sake. So I think it's okay, but it's better than the demon voting system that they had because that was atrocious. That just amplified all the bad things people were having with the
Mhm.
current system.
Mhm.
But
And
they got rid of it. Good decision.
yeah, good
But a
decision.
lot of my levels got lost in there.
Ah. And yeah, do you think you'll have a legacy if you ever retire?
If I ever retire, yeah, I'll definitely have a legacy.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be LN. I think people will remember me most by
Mhm.
because, like you said, it's just iconic. Even though it's not the hardest thing I've been a part of,
Yeah.
it's still iconic,
And
and that's awesome.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's really a really good level and iconic too. Another thing, and the last opinion is, what do you think about the constant creation of new hardest demons? Do you think it's good that the game is evolving in skill or bad?
There's going to be challenges to each community. This happens in almost every video game. There's like a speedrunning category, a challenge category, just something to push the skill limit of that game. For GD, it goes up pretty fast,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be cool to see someone actually verify like Eternus one day.
Yeah, it would really be cool.
Because like Silent Clubstep took 8 years, or
Mm-hmm.
however long that took. I think it was 8 years,
Yeah,
and that was awesome to see. Even though it's not the unnerved, it's still awesome to see.
yeah, it's awesome to see. But it's something I want to mention, and it has to do with this. I think people have this misconception of, oh, Red World got verified at this time, but it's Red World. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think Eternus is like the same challenge as, I don't know, what Bloodbath was at its time, and people have this misconception of, oh, if they verify Bloodbath, they could definitely verify Eternus, when they just don't. Like, the difficulties are way over each other and do not like intercept at all. You know?
Yeah, no, that is a definite misconception.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
no, I lost my train of thought. Go on.
Oh, okay, okay. So, um, basically, well, we are done with the opinions and the questions. It was a pretty fast episode, and if you noticed, in this server, we have a whole text channel, and in there, I don't know if
Mhm.
you read it in the form, but it's like the Hall of Fame image. It's when people put a signature, and that's like the sign that they were here. So I am pretty sure you know what I'm going to ask you right now. And yeah, if you can sign that,
Yeah, let me get a thing.
yeah, and if you
Where's
can share your screen, it will be way better too.
okay? Where is okay?
Yeah,
I don't have the best software ever for this,
yeah, don't worry, man.
so
Almost everyone did
where
it in Paint.
is awesome? Yay!
Yay.
There we go.
And
Okay,
yeah,
files. Save as PNG. Okay.
bad. Amazing. I think. Wait, let me do something. Let me fix this overlay because I usually. I don't know. Sometimes weird. Yeah, it's being. The overlay is being weird right now, so.
No problem.
Yeah, it's fixed. Um. So. I have two questions of, like, the farewell. The first one is, did you have a great time today? Here?
Yeah, this is fun.
And.
It's always interesting to be interviewed. Like I had another one like two days ago,
Really?
and he was with I think Toph. He's
Mm-hmm.
been like a newer React channel, but
Uh-huh.
he was he's like a new person in the community. He doesn't know anything, so
Oh.
it's all that was fun.
Uh-huh.
But this is also really chill.
Yeah. I'm really glad it was like a chill interview, even though I got the times wrong. I really thought it was going to be at 4 p.m. here, but it was not. It was 2 hours earlier. So
All good.
yeah. And yeah, who do you want to see here in this podcast?
Huh. Either like if you can contact Doggy, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I really think it would be cool. I wish. And yep. Anyone else?
If I can contact Donut TV, the guy who helped me make Ellen, I'll get a. I'd love to see him. Because he hasn't played the game in so long.
Imagine getting him and like he gets updated on everything that's happened. That would be incredible.
Yeah, he has no idea the stuff in his community.
That's insane. Well, there you have
Oh,
it,
the
everyone.
the other per
Uh-huh.
the other person would definitely be Hell Pegasus.
Oh,
Very funny guy. Very funny.
I'll try and see if we can like contact him in any way. So yeah,
Mm.
there you have it, everyone. This is CairoX who gave us an amazing episode today. Um, it is an honor having you here, and well, thank you for participating.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Take care, man.
You as well.